Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. This week I am going to tackle that most useful of pieces in your wardrobe, the waistcoat, or you might call it a vest. I think it's a wardrobe staple. I've got loads of them in my wardrobe. It transcends the seasons, depending on the fabric, of course, and it can really pull an outfit together. So this week I am going to talk a bit about contemporary trends. I've chosen 12 great patterns, but I wanted to look at high-end waistcoats that are around at the moment to put the patterns I've chosen into context, if that makes sense. And I've also made a really nice waistcoat myself recently, which is part of a co-ord set that I'm going to show you at the end. If you want to jump straight to the pattern review and you don't want to hear me wanging on about trends, go to this point in the video. Otherwise, let's begin. Okay, let's talk about trends, about contemporary waistcoat shapes that are out there. Starting with the classic shape waistcoat, the most predictable, possibly an incredibly useful shape, an incredibly versatile shape. I'm showing it to you here from three designers, very, very similar. Gabriella Hearst, the Frankie Shop, and Bruno Cucinelli. Gabriella Hearst has got two sets of jet pockets on each side, button through, and it's a slightly longer set, a longer silhouette, and it's worn here as a three-piece suit, which going forward on the catwalk, in the catwalk shows, there's a lot of this whole three-piece suit look as well. So I thought that was an interesting one to look at. The next one is from the Frankie Shop, again that classic shape, slightly cropped and above the waist, with a sort of a younger silhouette with a wide leg trouser, and another very similar version from Brunello Cucinelli, again cropped, maybe slightly boxier and a slightly looser fit, worn here with a classic pair of pleat front trousers. Okay, so another silhouette that I thought was really interesting was this slightly longer silhouette that a lot of designers are showing. The first one in gingham, which is really cute, from Veronica Beard, and then this multiple button through, round neck, multiple button through style from Liberou, and then a v-neck version of the same shape almost from Faithful. And a lot of these obviously are, sorry, I'm looking at my computer screen, are shown as coordinates, but equally there'd be a really useful standalone piece that will go with lots of other pieces in your wardrobe. Okay, some styled options here, starting on the left with this asymmetrical start from Row, very minimal, worn with shorts here, which I think is gorgeous. And then this Max Mara one with the tie front. I think this is my absolute favourite, and I might have a go at making one of these. I'm trying to look for the right pattern to tweak to make this, but I think it's absolutely lovely. Another one from the Frankie Shop, which has got an asymmetrical button front, and then from Row again, this really minimal longer length waistcoat with an extended shoulder v-neck and a single, I think it's a single button fastening at the front. Okay, then looking at sleeveless jackets really, but I mean I would call these waistcoats. So you've got this summer pinstripes from Max Mara with a double-breasted front with the gold buttons. They're coordinating with a pair of wide leg trousers. And then something a bit more interesting from Dries Van Noten. I love Dries Van Noten. I think this is a jacquard, a Revere collar with a single-breasted front, and I think a slightly asymmetrical centre front wrap there as well. And then from Etro, I don't include things from Etro very often, but I've got fond memories of visiting the Etro shop in Paris. This single-breasted sleeveless jacket stroke waistcoat with a slightly extended shoulder, two buttons at the front. And then from Sport Max, this is an interesting one. To me that looks double-breasted, and you've got this double wraparound belt, and it's got, I haven't shown you the reverse pic, but it's on Net-a-Porter if you want to have a look. It's got a sort of like almost like a cape-like back on it, worn here with wide leg trousers, which is lovely. Denim, I couldn't not include a denim waistcoat. I've got two here. One in this I'm assuming it's denim. It's denim or a denim look, and it's a textured or a raised jacquard denim or fabric. I'm not quite exactly sure what it is, from Garni, in a very classic shape there. And then on the right here, this style, a classic denim waistcoat look from Egg Cold, very fitted, 3 buttons at the front, classic denim styling details. And finally, I have got 4, yes, that is finally on the trends, 4 more styled waistcoats. The first one from Veronica Beard, with this high collar and cutaway shoulders and cutaway centre front hem. And then this really sweet polka dot halter neck waistcoat from Cara Cara with matching trousers as a coordinate set. I just think this is lovely. Then from Lacacia, short Revere collar, very classic looking. I mean, it's almost a blouse, but I actually would call that a waistcoat. And finally, last but not least, a really lovely one, a halter neck one from Tom Ford with matching classic trousers. So I put those together to sort of inspire you, not sort of, but definitely to inspire you, and to maybe put into context some of the patterns that I have chosen. So let's now look at the 12 patterns that I've selected. As usual, and I always say this, I've put them together in no particular order, but I have put them together in a particular order. I've put them together in groups of styling that sort of make sense together. And at the very end is my actual favourite out of all of these. So I am starting off with a couple of classic waistcoats, but they're slightly different from each other, although they do a very similar job. So the first one is from Bella Loves Patterns, and it's the Bennie vest. So it's got jet pockets, back shoulder darts, centre back seam, princess seams, buttons through. It is fully lined, and it's got a back tie detail. You could probably put a buckle on there if you chose to, but it's got the back tie detail, which means you can cinch it in if you want a more fitted look, or it can be looser if you so wish. It just depends on how you want to wear it. It's a PDF and it comes in 2 heights, but the size sets are over one size set from 6 to 22. So that's a real classic with the jetted pockets, the button through, the princess seams. The second one is from Wardrobe by Me, and it's the Pika vest. And I know to all intents and purposes it looks incredibly similar. It has princess seams at the front. It has back body darts. It is fully lined. It has welt pockets at the front, which you could leave out if you don't want to. If you don't want to do them, that would work quite well. But at the back, it's got a centre back seam, and it doesn't have the belt at the back. So this is a fixed shape, as it were, and maybe a slightly cleaner look, perhaps. So 2 very similar waistcoats. One with the belt to cinch it in, and one simpler one without. Okay, so moving on to. Here is a long line style inspired by some of those designer ones I was looking at. And it is from Just Patterns, and it's the Frija vest, PDF, Euro sizes 34 to 36. Semi-fitted, very minimal, princess seams. It has a defined waist, and it has a back belt with a buckle detail. Now with the pockets, you can either do more simpler patch pockets, or you can do welt pockets, either or. I suppose you could just leave the pockets out altogether if you so wish, but I think that's a very nice, neat shape. Okay, moving on to. Now this is from Butterick, and it's the B7027. Paper or PDF sizes 8 to 16, 18 to 26. So this is a kind of a Chanel-y version of a longer line waistcoat. It's fitted, it's lined, it's got front darts, and it's got back neck darts, centre back seam with a vent as well. The welts, I believe, are all decorative. I particularly like this one. It'd be great in a sort of a textured cotton boucle. Great. I like the way they've done it here with the, you know, in a sort of the pale palette with the gold buttons as well. Fantastic with a pair of wide leg trousers. I believe that pattern actually does come with a pair of trousers too. So moving on to, this is from Nomi, and it's the ME2114, again paper or PDF, 6-14 or 16-24, and it's a really simple long line waistcoat, and it's just got a halter neck, 3 buttons at the front, slightly cut away, welt pockets, princess seams, fully lined, very simple. Great for the summer. You could pair it up with a wide leg trouser or a skirt for occasion wear dressing, for sort of a more formal occasion, or equally you could make it in denim, and it could be very casual too. Okay, next one is slightly more boxy, and it's the Kelsey vest from Vikisews. So it's semi-fitted. I think that hits, I'd say that hits on the hip. It's fully lined, it's got princess seams front and back, welt pockets, it's got a centre back seam and centre front buttons. Very sort of clean looking, very formal, reminds me of very formal tailoring, but I like the way they styled it here with the jeans. Okay, this next one is from Vogue Patterns, and it's the V2118, semi-fitted, fully lined, and it has got panel seams. I would call them panel seams front and back, and it's got an inverted pleat at the centre back to give it a little swingy shape, slightly swingy, so to make it slightly easier, and it has actually got bound buttonholes. I guess you could probably do regular buttonholes if you didn't have the stomach for doing bound buttonholes. I think I'd have to talk myself into doing those personally. Not my favourite thing to do, and I haven't done them for years. So yeah, but a really cute little shape there from Vogue. Again, paper PDF, 6-14, 16-24. I love this one. I found actually loads of these patterns are from the big four. Not intentional, but I just so happened to find them when I was researching. I love this. It's like a halter waistcoat. I think it's really cool. So McCalls M8579, again paper PDF, 8-16 or 18-26. So it's a halter style in 2 lengths. So you've got this gathering, and the neck crosses round, and I believe it actually fastens at the centre back, and you've also got centre front button fastening, and you've got these optional pocket flaps, which I think are actually decorative, but lovely. Really like that one from McCalls. I think it looks particularly contemporary. Again, this one I chose inspired by some of the ones that I showed, the contemporary ones, the on-trend ones that I've shown you. So this is from Simplicity, S3067. So you have 4 options here. Well, 3 really. So it's a halter neck, first of all, with a classic Revere collar or a scalloped shaped collar. I like the halter neck Revere version the best. I think it's lovely, although the scallop edge is also really pretty. And then you've got this panel seamed one, which is very similar to the denim ones I've shown you. And they've done one version just in straight denim, and then they've done a 2-tone one, which of course you can do just by cutting panels out of different colours. Particularly nice one there from Simplicity. So it's PDF paper, 6-14 or 16-24, but interestingly, it's very fitted. So they have separate pattern pieces for A, B, or C or D cup sizes, because the fit is everything on that, because it's really very hourglass. But I think that would be incredibly flattering. Gosh, I'm really hot. It's really hot in London at the moment. Gosh, oh dear. Okay, let's carry on. Butterick. I pulled out a vintage one, Butterick B7018, and you've got 4 variations here, but I've chosen the double-breasted one that sits on the waist because I think it's really cute. Double-breasted, 4 buttons, bust darts, body darts, shoulder darts at the back, fully lined. I'm going to try making this one, and I also thought I might make a version with a wrap tie, using this pattern as a starting point, but lovely. So paper PDF 6-14, 14-22, so that's fully lined, but they've also got a classic v-neck version, which is single-breasted, which is slightly longer lined, and they've got 2 with this kind of horseshoe neckline, and there's been quite a few sort of horseshoe neckline references on the catwalks, like a sort of vest neckline shape like I'm wearing here. So I also think they look quite sort of the moment. Then moving on to this one is from Butterick B7028, and I almost passed it by, but I thought actually the way they've done this, cutting the panels on the bias on the cross to give it this sort of herringbone effect, is actually really quite interesting. So you could cut it on the straight or you could cut it on the cross. So you've got a centre front placket, you've got panel seams, a centre back seam, it's semi-fitted, it's lined, centre front buttons and a matching belt. Paper PDF 6-14, 16-26. I mean, you could just make that in a plain and focus on the like edge stitching or top stitching, but I actually really like the way they've contrasted the panels by bias cutting. And last but no means least, from Vikisews, I love this, the Laverne vest. It's a PDF or paper pattern in 4 heights from Euro sizes 34 to 52. And I think this has got something of the sort of Dior, almost the bar jacket, that current sort of Dior shape about it. And I think it's really elegant. And I'm going to save this pattern to make for autumn winter as a layering piece in a lightweight wool. And I absolutely love it. I've got the fabric, and I know I'm definitely going to make it. So about the pattern, so it's double-breasted. It's fully lined, semi-fitted, got this extended shoulder, princess seams front and back. It's also got a centre back seam. It's got this sort of grown on stand collar as well, and a pocket on the left hand side as worn, and darting at the back neck to help give that sort of that neck shape. So that's my take on current vest or waistcoat patterns, whatever you call them. I have made a vest myself, which is put a cord set, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But if you've made any of those patterns, do chip in and tell us your experience. Maybe you've got another vest pattern that is your absolute favourite that you might make on repeat. So please share that with us too. So this is my waistcoat that I'm going to pull the stand down a bit, that I very recently made. So as I've probably said to you before, I'm not quite the same size as my stand anymore, so it doesn't really fit the stand properly. I'm going to put it on in a minute, but it's easier to talk about it when I'm not wearing it. So it's this pattern, Butterick B6901. It's a co-ords pattern. It's got the waistcoat vest and trousers or shorts, either or. So these trousers are from another pattern, not that pattern anyway, but the waistcoat is that pattern. So I have made it in a 100% cotton twill, and it's a colour woven stripe. I've used the same fabric throughout the garment, apart from the lining. I didn't use a contrasting back. I've used mother of pearl buttons. It's really simple. It's got front darts. I'll show you the back, and this is all sort of pinned on and pulled in because it doesn't fit properly. Nice centre back seam detail and body darts, and then the tie is actually sewn into the side seam and then stitched down like that. I mean, you could, it's got this nice V detail at the centre back. So, I mean, you could actually put a buckle fastening on there, which I'm thinking of doing because it's a bit of a faff to tie it and it doesn't sit that flat necessarily. I mean, it's okay, but I think I would prefer a buckle. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a great shape, and I'm also going to make another one. I'm going to make a longer version, but I'm going to put it on now so you can see what it looks like on me. So here it is actually on. It's a very, very comfortable, easy piece to wear, especially with the tie at the back, so you can bring it in as much or as little as you want, button through. I'm wearing it with a vest, but you could wear it on its own actually. That's the beauty of a waistcoat. It's the ultimate layering piece, isn't it? So I think I'm definitely going to make some more for autumn winter. In sort of maybe a lightweight wool. I also want to make a Liberty print one with a Liberty print front and plain back. I've got a couple of jacquards, and if you wanted to make one with, say, a jacquard or a Liberty print front, you don't actually need that much fabric, and then you can just buy plain fabric to sit with as well. Yeah, so it's, again, this is the Butterick B7018, which is part of a co-ords pattern, which has a trouser with it. Not this trouser, this is an old trouser pattern of mine, but yeah, so that's my my most recent waistcoat make. Well, I hope you enjoyed my take on waistcoats and found something there that might inspire you. So, as I said before, please share with us if you've made any of these waistcoats, or if you have a favourite waistcoat of your own that perhaps you've made on repeat. Do share that with us. Please like, share, subscribe. Also, please follow me on Instagram. I usually put out at least one weekly post just highlighting my new YouTube video every week, so that'll keep you up to date. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you next week.